Hey everybody, TC Bradley, host of God Made Millionaire TV, and I've been waiting all week for you, yes you, to come and watch this show. If you've got a God-given dream within your heart, this is the place for you to be every Sunday night. I've got an incredible lineup of guests waiting to share their God-given dreams with you right now. I have a powerful interview with two-time #1 best-selling author Chris Cebollero. Chris is an amazing business leader who's in demand as a keynote speaker, management consultant, and leadership expert. But for right now, let's crack open the vault and let's start the show. Chris, I have to admit, I've been excited to have you come on my set and do this interview. You know, it's not often I have a person that comes on and they've written 2 books, both debuting on the bestseller list. So congratulations on that. Tell us a little bit about those books, you know, to start out for the people listening at home, and a little bit about yourself.
Well, I got to tell you, I mean, anytime you write a book, you just hope that people are going to read it. You're kind of writing it for yourself.
Right.
And the first book I wrote was Ultimate Leadership, 10 Rules for Success. And these are the rules that I had to come up with to be a better leader. I got to tell you, when I first started out in leadership, I was horrible.
Right.
You know, I wanted to be better than the people who were guiding me. And I actually wound up to be a little worse. A little bit of that ego came out.
Right.
So there were rules that I had to come up with because of failures, right? My rule number 1 is never allow your emotions to dictate your actions. How do you think I learned that one?
Right.
I allowed my emotions to dictate my actions, and then we go ahead and we talk about emotional intelligence and what it means. And what if I told you that you have no choice but to feel your emotion first? It's what you do with it now that you're a leader that really kind of makes the difference. So my 10 rules for success. And then the next one was Ultimate Success, Strategic Leadership Excellence. And I kind of took that a step further as to what skills do you need to have as a leader to be successful? And now, you know, where's that blueprint? Who taught us how to be good leaders? There's really nobody out there. So that's where I kind of came from.
Right. Chris, you're very much in demand as a speaker. I see you speak all across the country. Yeah. Who typically pulls you in to speak at an event?
You know, I think that there are a lot of people who want motivation. You think about the science of leadership, TC, and the science is there. And it's my interpretation of the science as to what I get out of it. And I want to be able to share my interpretation. And one of the things that I talk about when people say we want you to come and be our motivational speaker is, what's plaguing your organization? Or what is it that, you know, your group of people, what do they want to learn? And let me go ahead and build something specific to them. And I really enjoy that more than anything.
So that's your zone of genius, is helping organizations identify that weak spot?
You know, I think it is. I've gone into many organizations and I see a lot of, you know, common mistakes. And I think there are 2 common mistakes that organizations make. The first off is they don't cast a vision. I love it, TC. When I'm speaking, and one of the questions I'll ask is, how many people out there have a vision statement? And they'll raise their hand with pride. And then the next question kind of chills them when I say, who can come up here and recite it for me? I read a good book one time that said, where there is no vision, the people will perish. Right? So
that's a very good book, Chris.
It is. So when we think about vision, if I say, think about a door, you don't see the letters D-O-O-R. You actually picture a door. We are wired to think in pictures. In the absence of vision, we don't know where we're going, or we don't know when we're going to be there. Number 2 is, I need to know my responsibility in reaching that vision. Another core mistake is that we don't invest in the people that work with us. We invite these people into our organization to help us be successful, but we don't invest in them once they get there. And that's a big, big problem as well. And I'm going to give you the secret to success before we end here. Right now, treat your workforce like they're your clients and customers, and then watch how they treat your clients and customers. Again, I talked about it a minute ago. We go through this process of hiring people. Maybe it's a hiring exam, maybe it's interviews, maybe it's assessment tests. And then when we bring them into the organization, TC, we sit them in the corner and say, if you got a problem, raise your hand. Well, how are we going to grow our organization? You're coming to me with a set of skills. You're coming to me with a set of knowledge. My job now is to help you grow to get to the next step for your success, that you could help me be successful as an organization.
Right. I want to go back for a second, because you started talking about vision. And most people, I would have to say most people don't have a vision.
Yeah.
Would you say that's true? Even, have you found in corporate America, is there vision there? Yeah. In corporate America, are they lacking a vision?
I think that there is, but vision isn't seen as important as they think that it is. What's the vision for your show? What's the vision for our organization? What's the vision for this year? We have to be able to put that vision in forefront. Again, where there is no vision, the people will perish, right? And if you don't have a vision, or if you can't recite, as a leader, if you can't recite your vision statement, why does the workforce need to know what your vision is? So if you can't recite your vision statement as a leader, go in, tear it up, and start over. Bring your workforce to the table, bring your leaders to the table, and ask them to help you create that vision. And then build a campaign around it. Put it on banners, put it on their badges. And then everything they do is about reaching the vision. Let people know what their responsibility is to reach the vision. If you don't have one and you're not using a vision, you are failing your organization.
Chris, what is the biggest challenge facing a business leader today?
I think one of the other ones is that they don't invest in their leadership team. The most important thing that I have to do as a leader is bring the very best out in the workforce. And if I don't have those skills, people don't leave organizations.
Right.
They quit their leaders because they're not taking care of them, they don't appreciate them, they don't respect them, they talk down to them. We need to be able to make our leadership team solid. We think about our goal of servant leadership. It's all about service. And when you talk about servant leadership and engaging the workforce and helping them to become satisfied, that's the power of leadership. That's the science of leadership. I've been saying for a lot of years, TC, that leadership is both an art and a science. If you don't, know the science and understand the science, you will never paint the picture of organizational success.
Right. What has been your biggest influence in your leadership management style and what you're doing right now?
Mistakes. When we think about it, we think mistakes are bad. Ooh, you made a mistake. And really, name the one thing that you ever did the first time that you did great.
Right.
It's all about mistakes. And we've been sold this bill of goods that mistakes are bad. I'm all for making mistakes. I'm all for learning from those mistakes. I'm all for bringing that culture into an organization to say mistakes are okay. We're not a one-mistake organization where you need to get fired for making a mistake. Let's learn from it. The first time you do something, TC, it's a mistake. Second time you do the same thing, it's a choice because you knew it was a mistake.
Right.
And I think that we've got to be able now to invest in those people who are with us and let them make mistakes and let them grow from that.
All right, so let me ask you this. The aspiring leaders that are watching this, the people that are going to venture into that area of business, what would be your message to them?
I think the first thing is to figure out why you want to do it. Why do you want to be a leader? I got to tell you, there are some leaders that just want to do it to make more money, so they can get that parking spot, so they can, wear a different color badge. If you're in the first responder, being a paramedic for a lot of years, people just want to get those gold badges, but they don't really think about the importance of what they're doing to guide that workforce, to be the positive influence for that workforce, to help motivate and inspire that workforce. And if you truly want to become a leader that's going to make a difference,
yes,
you got to be able to do it with the sincerity of wanting to serve those people. They don't work for you. You work for them. You've got to give them the very best you got to get the very best out of them to help grow the organization and make the organization become successful. That's the secret sauce, man.
Man alive. Chris Cebollero, we are out of time for this segment, but I have to tell you, I can see and I can hear your passion, and I can see why you're so in demand as a consultant and as a speaker.
Thank you.
So would you come back and see me?
I would love to come back.
Especially when you release that next book.
I will. That'll be awesome to do that. I don't know what it's going to be about yet, and I'm going to need your counsel.
All right. You got it. Chris Cebollero, fantastic. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, TC. Glad to be here.
Hey, folks, my next guest is a powerful woman of God, somebody that God has given an incredible purpose with her nonprofit organization. It's somebody you're going to want to hear from, Miss Bianca Moto Isom. Bianca is a powerful, incredible, inspirational, best-selling author, by the way, and she's waiting for us in the studio right now. So without any further ado, let me take you in to my interview with Miss Bianca Moto Isom. Bianca Moto Isom, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Bianca, you're no stranger to TV. I know you've been on TV before, but you inspire me so much because God has given you a purpose, a vision, a dream that I believe is going to inspire ladies and people in over 200 nations that this show is broadcast to. So tell us a little bit about this God-given dream. Derma Quenchers, that God has given you?
So thank you again for having me, TC. Derma Quenchers actually was inspired because I started to notice that there was a lot of young girls and women who were in sex trafficking. And so what I wanted to do was to be able to fund my nonprofit organization with the Derma Quenchers. Derma Quenchers is a body butter. We have oils. It's all natural ingredients, organic ingredients. So I'm not putting crazy things on my skin. It's just something, you know, around the holidays, women normally get the packs of body oils and butters and soaps that we really don't want on our skin. And so Derma Quenchers was created to actually moisturize your skin with those all natural ingredients.
Right. You know, when you're telling me about Derma Quenchers, take us through that timeline, because we've got ladies at home that go, you know what? I've got an idea. I've got a vision for a product. Take us through that timeline of Derma Quenchers from when God birthed the dream into you to where it is now. You've got a beautiful logo. You've got the products.
Yes.
Take us through what that looks like.
So the actual idea for Derma Quenchers came maybe about 4 years ago. And so what I did was I wanted to kind of put it on hold, but to make sure that I was going to be committed to it. So I bought the domain name. I got the logo made. I was like, this is it. Like, I'm going to do it. But it wasn't until last year that God was in. He's like, okay, look, I told you that I want you to do this. Get it done. And so I actually put the effort in. I looked up what ingredients that I wanted to have in my body butters. I ordered the ingredients. I had created all my products within a month. So I was focused and said, you know what, this is what I'm going to do. God wants me to do this. I'm going to do it. And so I put in the work. I created the products. And from there, here we are.
Tell us a little bit more about your nonprofit, because it's such a powerful cause that you're getting behind. Tell us a little bit more about, if you don't mind, about the nonprofit.
Absolutely. So it's called the Bianca Moto Foundation. And the idea is to get young women and children out of sex trafficking in the United States and around the world. But I also want to do that by giving some confidence to them. You know, when they get out of sex trafficking and human trafficking, it's not just sex trafficking. They don't have confidence. They need jobs. They might want to start a business. I want to be able to be that leeway for them, to get them resources for their businesses, to get them resources to get jobs, to get their confidence built back up, to get back into the workforce, and even just society in general. I understand how it's stressful because, once again, I have been someone who has gone through trauma and abuse as a child through my life, and so I could relate to what they were going through.
Right. Tell us a little bit more about your background. You just touched on it briefly.
Yes.
But tell us a little bit more. People are tuning in. Bianca
Yes.
Moto Isom.
Yes.
You happen to be a best-selling author
I am.
as well.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit more about your backstory as well.
So, of course, I am a best-selling author. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I have a salon suites. I am just a business-minded person. I've always wanted to do more. I've always wanted to be inspired with this passion that's inside of me. I never saw myself working a 9-to-5. If I do work a 9-to-5, I'm saying, okay, I have to be creative. I have to be able to get out there and do what I love to do and to inspire and to help humans. I don't want to just sit behind a desk and clock in, clock out, and keep it moving. I know that there is more to life. So that has always been my life. I have a great support system in my life. I know a lot of people don't have that, but I have that. I have the schooling, I have the background and experiences. I've traveled. I went to school in Paris, France for a year. So I have this diverse background, you know, creative direction, just so many things. But as a serial entrepreneur, I do understand that I do have to focus, you know, my businesses and what it is that I'm doing if I want to have that vision be successful.
Miss Bianca,
Yes.
I love having you on the show. Here's what I want you to do. If I have a request, I'd like to make this request for you right now.
Okay.
God has anointed you with a word, a specific word to ladies and women all across 200 nations, 93 million homes. I want you to look into that camera, and I want you to deliver as only Miss Bianca can deliver. Give them that word right now. This is your moment. You've been appointed, you've been anointed to do it. Look into that camera and give that message out to those ladies?
So what I want to say is if you have a business idea, you can get it done. You can actually visit biancamodo.com, BIANCAMODO.com, and I can actually help you get your business off the ground. But I want you to remain inspired. Whatever it is that you're going through, whatever it is that you've been through, any trauma, any healing that you need to do, I want you to get that done so you can get your God-given vision off the ground. Because without you healing, you're not going to be able to do what it is that God has set forth for you to do.
I'm so proud of you, Miss Bianca. Will you come back and see us again?
Oh, absolutely.
Bianca Modo, I'm so happy to see you.
Thank you. You too, TC.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, you are about to be inspired by a powerful man of God, Mr. Kevin Bailey. Kevin Bailey was working in corporate America, but he was not happy with doing what God hadn't called him to do. He's got a passion to help people live a healthier life through physical fitness and through diet. He's an incredible man of God, powerful interview, and we're waiting for you on set right now. So without any further ado, let me take you right into the interview with Mr. Kevin Bailey. Kevin Bailey, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Kevin, first of all, congratulations, my brother. I was on Facebook and I saw that you were on ESPN Radio recently.
Yes.
Wow. Now, you know, ESPN Radio, that's a pretty big deal.
Oh, yeah, it's okay. It's
Yeah.
okay.
I know your story, and you have such an inspirational story, Kevin, about being in the personal fitness space. But you weren't always in the personal fitness space.
Right.
Tell us a little bit about your journey.
Oh, wow. So I started off, I was working with a chiropractor, and he had a business, and he was going on. And I was just kind of working with him, helping people with some physical therapy and things of that nature, doing little modalities. And I was really doing that only to, I could find the job. So I really wanted to get into, you know, computer programming and hardware and things of that nature, because that's where everything was going.
Right.
And I could just do, you know, things and helping people to work out, and that was just kind of easy for me.
Right.
So I just kept on in that space, but you know, something on the inside of me was saying, this is not where I'm supposed to be, you know,
Right.
on a computer behind a desk.
Right.
And so I kept trying to take these certification tests, and then I'll come up short, or I'll start going to that program, and it was like, this is boring. I don't even like this. So why am I even doing this? And so finally, after, you know, being at that job and trying to do something different, and just until I get the big, you know, break and make the big money
Right.
in computers. And so finally, what ended up happening was I got laid off. After getting laid off, and you know, you have to grab yourself before that fear catches in. And it was like, you know, trying to grip me and hold me. And so, but I had to cast that fear down.
Right.
And so, and focus on, okay, God, what do you want me to do with my life? And so, you know, you always hear about people say, well, do what you're good at, do what's natural to you, what comes easy for you.
Right.
And so I started thinking about that. I was like, well, it's not computers, because I don't even want to do this. I don't want to sit at a desk all day. So what is it? And I was like, well, what about this fitness stuff? What about
Right.
working out? What about helping
Right.
people? Because I love to help people.
Right.
And also, I was an athlete myself. So I was like, well, let me try this and see what happens. If this is what you want me to do, Lord, this comes natural, let me take that first step. And when you take that first step, the ground will appear beneath your feet. That's walking by faith and not by sight. So,
Right.
so I took those steps, and then things started happening easily for me. I started working with my first client, got them pretty easy, and then it just started taking off from there. Ended up, this was around 9/11, so economy went down, you know, few jobs. Ended up, I'm from Athens, Georgia, which is about an hour away from Atlanta. Ended up getting a job in Athens, working as an exercise specialist for a hospital.
Right.
And so, again, the ground appeared beneath my feet, and so things started happening. Clients started coming. I started working more with people, helping them to transform their lives, to become better than they ever thought they could be,
Right.
and helping them transform. And so then it just took off from there.
Well, you've got me all excited. I have to tell you, I have a tackling dummy I'm going to have put offset here, and then when I get done with your interview, I need to hit something.
Oh,
I
there
need
you
to
go.
tackle something,
There you
Kevin.
go,
You've got
absolutely.
me all excited. So Tell me your zone of genius. Tell me what God has called you to do in this personal fitness space.
Well, first, he called me to help people to take control of their health, to change their mindsets about their own physical bodies and their health. You know, the Bible tells us that your body is the temple of the Holy Ghost, which dwelleth in you. Therefore,
Right.
glorify God in this temple. So I've been called to help people to renew their minds about their own health, to value their health, and then to honor God and honor their lives through this physical body. So in doing that, it's to help them to be better in their lives so they can serve
Right.
God, so they can fulfill the will of God for their lives.
Right.
So that they can renew their minds to those things that God has called them to do and not live in fear of sickness
on.
and disease, fear
Come
of
on.
things going to happen to them. My mom had diabetes, so then their mom, and then it may happen to them. And you don't have to walk that path, but all you can do is believe that God has you, that by the stripes of Jesus Christ, you're healed from the crown of your head to the sole of
Right.
your feet. So in doing that, he's called me to help people to remove that fear and to walk in that power that he's given us, that
Come on.
love that he's given us,
Come on.
and that sound mind. Because
Right.
a lot of times, once I get to them, they don't think they can change. It's almost like the last ditch effort. Well, I'm going to try this workout thing. I guess it'll help me. I'll just try something. No, you can do it.
Right.
You can walk, even if it's 2 more steps, then take those 2 more steps.
Come on.
If you want to take 3, take 3. And then we'll
Right.
keep building upon it until you reach your goal of where you want to go. So taking you from where you are right now, no matter where it is,
Come on.
and help you to get to where you want to go. I started working with people and starting creating programs.
So what you're doing is you're putting together a blueprint, if you
Yes,
would,
yes.
of how you went from corporate America
Yes.
to a highly successful personal trainer.
Yes.
You're giving them a blueprint from A
Yes.
to Z on
Yes.
how to do it. Because when you started, there was no blueprint. No
No.
one gave you a blueprint on how to be successful in doing this. How long have you been doing your business successfully?
Right around 18 years, 18 to 20 years.
18 to 20 years.
Yes.
So now what you've done is you put together a training program to help people that were just like you,
Yes.
stuck in a job, stuck in a calling that is not theirs,
Right.
and they have a calling like you do to help people live a much healthier life.
Yes.
And what you're doing is giving the blueprint.
Yes. And in doing that, because in one of the things that you said, stuck, when you feel like you're just
Right.
stuck in a place, you feel like there's more on the inside of me.
Right.
I'm doing this job and I'm doing it well, but there's a greater call upon my life. And sometimes it's just getting that out of you
Yes.
so that you can serve and fulfill the will of God for your life. And so in doing that, you know, if I had a blueprint, it would have been easy. So I lay out the steps and stages, try to give you tools and tactics on how to walk that path, you don't have to just dive all together in it, you know, but how to start off small and then how to build it up. Is this what I really want to do? And then it's from steps and steps and steps and steps. How do I go about getting my first client? How do I work with that person? How do I see if this is somebody I even want to work with? Where do I go?
Right.
And I want to remove all the guesswork from that and help you, hey, come with me. Let me show
Right.
you how to do it. Let's walk together.
Right.
Let's do this. Oh, hey, don't take that right step. You may fall. But let's go this left way. Or which thing works better for you? What would you like to do? Where's your passion? What God has created on the inside of you
Right.
for you to do? And help them to walk that out. And that's that fear that we talked about.
Yes.
But God didn't give us a spirit of fear. He gave
No,
us
He didn't.
power, love, and a sound mind. So we remove all that.
Right.
Fear not and just believe only. So
Come
believe
on.
God, keep moving forward, and this program will help them to do that, to get out of that being stuck and trapped, and them to break free and move forward with that God-given calling on their lives.
Kevin, I'll tell you what, you got me so excited. I'm going to put the website, your website up on the screen to
All
check
right.
that out. And
Excellent,
to
excellent.
check this powerful man of God out. Kevin, pleasure to have you on the show today. Come back and see us again.
I sure will. Great. Thanks for having me, TC.
All right, KB. Everybody, thank you so much for tuning into our show this week. And do I ever have a word burning within me for somebody watching the show as we wrap things up on this week's show. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the secret components of wealth generation and walking in your destiny is the principle of wealth is attracted to speed. Wealth is attracted to speed. Wealth is attracted to prosperity. Success is attracted to speed. The quicker that you can get the revelation, the divine providence moving in your life, and take the action with what you've been inspired to do, the more wealth that you're going to be able to create in your life. What most people would do, and we've all had those moments in our life where we're sitting there minding our own business and divine providence moves and you get divine revelation and you know that you've been given $1 million idea. You just know it in your heart, you know it in your spirit that God has downloaded this dream within you. Now, my point to you in teaching you this is the quicker you can execute on that dream, the quicker that you can execute on that inspiration, the more money you're going to generate. You want to know why that is? You want to know why that is? It's very simple. What will happen is the longer that you wait to execute on what you've been given, the more time you have for that little fat man up on your shoulder to whisper in your ears and talk you out of it. Who do you think you are? Talking about your past, talking about your limitations, talking about all your failures that you failed at before now. Who am I to go on T.C. Bradley's God Made Millionaire TV show? Who are you? You're called by God. If you've been given a dream in your heart, in your spirit, this is the platform to share it with the nations. Wealth is attracted to speed. It always has been. Take the action, baby. Plant your flag. Stake your claim. Be bold. Be courageous. Be decisive and walk in your dream. I'm getting fired up now. I feel my strength coming, but we got to get out of here. Somebody hit my music. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, God Made Millionaire is not just a financial show. God Made Millionaire is going to be the launching pad for dreams, specifically God-given dreams. God has given me this platform, not just for me, but for you, to give you a platform where you can come and share with the nations, over 200 nations, 93 million homes, that dream that God has given you. You're going to be able to share it to the nations on the God Made Millionaire TV show, Sunday nights at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on the Word Network.